Hi, everybody. Welcome to Grab Your Keys. I have Margarita with me today. She's going to be very insightful on all the things social media and with all the different platforms. She is the owner of Almar Media. And I am looking forward to having a fantastic conversation with her today.
Yes.
And just remember, if you enjoy this podcast, to like it and share it with your friends on all the different social media platforms that you have. So, Margarita, just like the drink, why don't you tell us a little bit about what you do and how you got into the business you're in?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Margarita. I now run a social media management agency. We primarily focus on realtors and lenders at this moment. Also, although we have some other accounts, our primary focus is, of course, real estate industry. Um, I am a former realtor myself. I used to be with that properties for
Great.
a number of years. Well, I don't even know how many, 4 years, but I was in operations for three top producing teams here in Chicagoland. So that's kind of where I got my love, I guess. I gained my love for marketing when I was running marketing campaigns for one of the groups here, one of the teams here. I fell in love with the whole process and kind of social media aspect of it. So that's kind of where my journey planted a seed in my journey, if you want to say.
Mhm.
And then after that, I hung my license in holding. It's in holding now, and I've had this agency for close to 2 years, and we've helped over 300 agents last year. And this
Wow.
year, I'm hoping to kind of gain the momentum and do maybe a little bit more. But yeah, I really love this. I love the industry. I love working with real estate agents and with mortgage
Professional.
officers. Yes, professionals. And it's just been an amazing journey so far. Not without hurdles, but in any business, I'm sure, Sue, it's not always rainbow and butterflies, but and overall it's been an amazing journey, and I really am grateful to kind of be a part of it.
Yeah, I agree with you. How would you start? How do you start with developing a marketing strategy and implementing that strategy for
Sure.
realtors, let's say?
Yeah, so the first thing that we usually tell our clients is to find your niche. If you don't know your niche, you don't know the pain points, you don't know the kind of, from the marketing standpoint, from social media standpoint, what kind of pain points they have, what kind of interest points they have. So you can address those to bring value to your potential follower who will be a potential client one day.
Right.
So the niche market is very important to me. It's number one kind of number one of the first priorities you should have is knowing your target market, who you're trying to kind of gain, what are you trying to gain, and who you're trying to gain from the marketing perspective, who you're trying to cater. And in order to know that, you need to know what kind of
What
interest
your
and what,
niche is.
yeah.
What are examples? Give some examples of what a niche market would be.
Sure. Some people. So I have a client who only focuses in, for example, her main area of focus is two cities. So it's Libertyville and Vernon Hills, and she focuses on a specific group of people, like maybe people who are moving from Chicago to Lake County by here. So she knows their pain points. She knows what she needs to focus on from the social media perspective in order to address those pain points. Another good example of a niche market would be first-time home buyers. A lot of people who are starting out in real estate who are just trying to gain experience, like initial experience, they focus on first-time home buyers because they usually have like they're more flexible in their budget, and they're more
Mhm.
kind of easier to work with. um, Military families, some people focus on, like, I have a client who's a police officer, he does like first responders. So I mean, clients from other areas will come into your kind of sphere, right? It will come into your life, but those are your primarily focus on that would be your primary focus, and that will guide your content and guide your kind of strategy, if you will, when it comes to the social digital space or even your marketing campaigns.
Right. How would someone start if they wanted to get into one or two of the social media platforms?
Um, I always say it's so hard to get people to start initially because they're so nervous. They overthink. Like, I'm an overthinker, so I totally understand the overthinking of the whole process. But I always urge people to just start. And you're gonna have some bad posts. You're gonna have posts that don't resonate with anybody, and that's okay. You learn from those. So the main thing is just to start. So you sit on, you take your phone, you get your app going, and you just start. Another thing would be to create some kind of a plan for yourself. So because being consistent in social media is very important, so you need some kind of a plan of action of what you're going to do once you're in there. And again, don't overthink it. Just say, okay, on Sundays when my kids are in a basketball practice, I'll allocate 2 hours out of my day to batch shoot, say, content for the next month that I'll use. I'll plan the week ahead, and I'll know, okay, on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, this is what time, this is what days I'm gonna post. This is what I'm thinking of posting, and it's a trial and error. If you don't start, if you don't try to experiment, if you're scared to get in the water, you're never gonna know what's
Right.
out there.
How important? How often do you think people need to post to be significant?
That's really a great question, and it's the one that pops up a lot, especially for people who haven't been consistent on social media. I would say a golden number would be like 3 times.
A
So
day.
it's yeah, so it's not overwhelming for you, it's not overwhelming for your followers, but it's enough to remind them, hey, I'm still in business, hey, I'm still out there doing this. So I think a good number, consistent number would be 3, like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then if you're out in the field on Saturday, Sunday, like doing an open for a real estate broker, for example, or if you're doing an open and you're a mortgage officer and you're doing an open with a real estate broker, you can kind of do a post about that. But a consistent post would be like Monday, Wednesday, Friday is
Right.
optimal.
For sure. How important do you think is staying in front of people with regards to video?
Oh, so important. And I think it's very, very important. And video plays such a crucial part in building that trust gap between a professional, a real estate professional, or a mortgage loan originator professional, and the person on the other side of the screen. So it's so important to show your face, because if a person is only researching you, they will look at your, I don't know, Google profile, your Google reviews, they'll ask around about you, and then they'll take a look at your social media platforms to see what you're all about, to make sure that you're aligning. It's very important, because a lot of people know a gazillion of other brokers, a gazillion of other loan officers. So it's very important to build that connection with your audience, and video is such an amazing tool to do it. So people hear your voice, they feel your kind of presence. I mean, it's through a video, but they still can feel you out a little bit and see if you're a good fit. And it's so hard, it's amazingly hard to get a lot of real estate industry professionals from either side, the mortgage or real estate, to get on video. It's so it's almost impossible. Like, they give me all kinds of excuses, like my dog ate my homework type of excuses. And so but it's very, very, very important to. And I want to say one more thing regarding video. With the rise of artificial intelligence, people are looking for authenticity. They're looking for a real person on the phone, or a real person, because I mean, the AI technology is amazing. It's incredible, and it's opening so many doors to everyone really in every industry, but it has a downside of being robotic. It's a robot that is on the screen, not a person. So with the rise of artificial intelligence, it's so important to show your face out there so people humanize your brand and humanize your name.
For sure. Yes, for sure. What do you feel people's three keys to being successful in social media should be?
Okay, so I will say consistency is one of the main things that you should be striving for. And I know with real estate professionals and loan originators, it's very hard to be consistent because your business is all over the place. Like you can be um, dealing many deals in 1 month and then you're dry for the next couple of months. And so people usually remember social media during the dry months. And then when they're busy, they're like, oh, I, I forgot for a month and a half, I haven't posted anything. So consistency is very important from that aspect, and also from algorithmic aspect as well. It's training the algorithm, especially on Instagram, to show your content to the right people. I want to say engaging with other accounts in the social space is also very important. It's also like a key to success because it's not a one-way street. You should
Right.
be showing support and to other accounts, and you should be strategic about it. So that's where niche market is coming into place as well, again, because you need to know who your target market is in order to know where they hang out in the digital space, what restaurants they go to, what kind of their interests are, so you're in the same digital space as they are. So
Right.
um, engaging with other accounts, strategically engaging with other accounts is very important. Another key to success that is often overlooked by real estate professionals in general is being a hyper local expert. So
Right. For a local expert.
yes, I think maybe not so much for loan originators, it's important as well, but for real estate brokers, it's very important to become that hyper local go-to realtor that they think of when they think, oh, if I want to sell in Chicago, Gold Coast area, who do I call? I call Margarita, right? Or I call Sue. You pop into their head when they think of one or two areas. They're Northbrook experts. They're hyper local Northbrook experts who will post content strategically about not only Northbrook real estate, but also about say Northbrook businesses, restaurants, and
Right.
stuff. So it's very important. I had a client who got his license in July. We started working in August, and he was only interested in doing real estate in two suburbs because he was teaching fourth grade there. He lived there. He knew the area. Like that was his
Right.
turf, right? So it was Naperville and Aurora, and
Right.
that's still he's working that farm. And he calls me one day in December, and he said, "Hey, you're not gonna believe it. I'm in Mariano's, which is a local grocery store. I'm at Mariano's in Naperville, and this guy comes up to me and he said." Keep up the good work, man. I really appreciate your content. And he said, I have no idea. Like, I had no clue.
Awesome.
Yeah. So somebody is watching. They're
People
watching.
are watching. People are on it 2.5 hours a day.
Yeah.
So people are definitely on it. So if you say the three things to being successful, building success in social media would be consistency, knowing what your niche market is with showing support with a strategy, and being being a hyper local expert to your area.
Yes.
Um,
Engaging with your target market strategically and the places that they hang out at is definitely a key to success.
that's
One.
awesome. Awesome, awesome information. Who do you admire?
Oh, that was a tough one. That's a tough one. There are a lot of people that I admire, but I have to say, I admire my mom, and I will say why. Because she is an amazingly strong woman, amazingly courageous woman. She got our family up and running in a new country when she was 45 and starting over. So I'm like a immigrant success story, if you will, in regards to we came here, and now we're okay, we're comfortable, and we work hard. And so my mom built that success life for me. My parents did, but my dad was always a spender, and my mom was always a saver. So
It's always good when you have at least one saver and one spender, for
yeah.
sure. If you weren't doing the social media stuff, Margarita, what profession would you be in? What else would you be doing?
I'd be a vet.
Oh, that's awesome.
Would be a vet, and
You like animals.
that was my longest dream was to be a vet.
Right.
So yeah, I would 100% be a vet if I wasn't here.
Yeah, that's great. And what's in the future for Margarita?
In the future is hopefully growth. I mean, I'm always learning. So because social media is such an always changing field of just learning and new stuff coming out, it's always exciting. So I'm hoping professional growth and just personal growth in general is in the future. I mean, we'll keep serving our clients the best that we can, but I'm always striving to kind of advance in my knowledge, always,
Right.
every day. So
Right, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for joining us,
thank you.
everyone. We're going to put in the link below where you can get in touch with Margarita to provide any of her services. And if you enjoyed this podcast, we'd love to hear from you. And if you have anyone who you'd like to be on the podcast, please let us know. Thanks so much, and grab your keys.
Thank you.